Oh, good point. So Adramtor
Adramtor.
is, yeah, that's how you say it, but most everybody calls me Adam. I don't care, whatever you want to do. As I said, I'm chilling, dude. I don't care about most anything.
Sweet stuff.
And actually, um, Adramtor, like the actual name is from EverQuest 1, if you've ever heard or played of that game.
I know it. I've never played it.
Dude, fucking oldie but a goodie, that's for sure.
Heard it's very grind heavy and very punishing. Is that the one where you like lose XP and stuff if you die?
I'm not sure if 1 was, but 2 was not like that. 2 was basically like WoW. Just I wouldn't say old because WoW was also old, but it's like WoW basically.
Okay. All right, all looking good. So, welcome back, guys. It has been a hot minute since we've done one of these. Last one was with the man himself, Arcavian, and today I am honored to be graced with Adramtor joining us. Thank you for your time, man.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
So I'd like to just start off getting to know the guests a little bit, have a chat about them. So, what's your gaming history?
My gaming history is since I was a kid, I've been on computers. My dad is a huge nerd and raised me as in like we bonded over computer games and stuff. So we did other activities, we did sports and stuff, but this is how like the family bonded. So I've been a nerd and I've known how to game and do stuff like that since I was a kid. And streaming is just like a little extension of that. Like it's something that I can do now that I'm a adult.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
28. 28.
28. I'd had some crossover with some early games. I'm what, 36 now. A little bit of it.
Well, see, I've played a lot of the old strategy games, Heroes of Might and Magic, um, uh, EverQuest 2, WoW, like when it was not brand new, but one expansion in. I've played games and games like that since like I say the olden days, like 20 plus years ago now.
And what were the sort of games that got you into streaming? When did you just pick that up?
So I started streaming about 7 months ago. What inspired me was I was playing Dark and Darker, and I used to love that game. I have over 1,000 hours in that game, and someone uh someone just watched me like solo a hard boss. He just watched me and didn't want to fight me or anything, and he was like just impressed that I could do it alone. And that's when I was like, man, I'm good enough and I do this stuff all the time. It's not that I'm the best, right? But I'm good enough that someone's willing to just watch me. Like someone even in the run, so who's supposed to be attacking me and supposed to be hostile. They're just watching me. I was like, I might as well, like, even if I'm not dumb, but even if I'm just like having fun and I'm not the best and all this, I might as well stream. I might as well do what I'm already doing, but show other people. And that was it. That was how it started.
Yeah, okay, so Dark and Darker.
Yep, there was no real inspiration. I just was like, I'm already playing games. I'm already doing stupid shit, and I I can't really control it anyway, so I might as well have fun with other people.
What
And now here
uh
we are.
what class were you playing in that?
Rogue. I was a rogue. I was a little rat rogue, not gonna lie.
Is there any other type of rogue?
No, you're right. There's only a rat rogue, but no, I was pretty good at the rat rogue too.
Yeah, very nice. I haven't played it, but I have heard the tales of the druid being the real rat in that game.
This is true. It's them being able to slip through like tiny little holes and stuff. I don't really agree with that sort of gameplay, but it definitely is the druid class. Like the druid class would be able to do that. So I understand that part, but yeah.
And how did you find yourself getting into Legacy? How did you find the game?
Well, interestingly enough, I just said I have over 1,000 hours in Dark and Darker, but this is not supposed to be, flame or hate or anything, but the devs of that game just were very hateful to their group, to their player base, and as someone in their player base, I just didn't want to support that anymore. They essentially, they when I started streaming their game, that was when they said, it doesn't matter really what you say, what your thoughts are. We have a goal, a vision is what they called it, and we're gonna seek it out. And that's when I was like, well, if I'm not like respected, and I know I'm only one player, but if the players aren't heard, I'm not going to stick around. That's not a very good, healthy tree that I want.
It sounds a little reminiscent of the WoW saga. You think you do, but you don't.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
exactly why I quit WoW. Is they're just it's the same stuff over and over, and I have to pay for it. Like it's a monthly thing, and it's why am I gonna pay for? Like I've enjoyed the game. As I said, I've played WoW for 20 plus years, but it's at that point now to where it feels insulting. It's like, why am I paying for your product? I've already played it. I've already got I've already got my many hours of enjoyment. Why am I being scammed basically at this point?
See, well, while we're on that topic, let's shift it over to Eldegarde. What are your impressions of how the devs interact with players and how they
Well,
adapt to
I
what players are saying? Do you think they're pretty good in that regard?
I really do. They can't hit home with everybody. They can't make everybody happy, but I that is truth be told anyway. That is the only reason I'm still so heavily, essentially only streaming their game is I really believe in them. They actually seem transparent. They actually seem honest, which I don't know. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes and stuff. We won't know until perhaps it's too late. But I haven't seen this transparency actually anywhere else that I have went, and I've been playing games my whole life. So I'm just very impressed with that, and that's why I'm sticking around is they had the roadmap, they had uh the MTDs probably once a month. I was just very impressed with how open that they were willing to be with everybody, not just VIP members, not just the devs. They were open with everybody, and it slowed down their progress. Really, it slowed down their time in which to complete the game. But that's the I'm just gonna recap. I respected it, and it's a big move that I've never seen before. So that's why I'm still here and such a huge advocate.
Yeah, I liked the only thing I kind of related Ashes of Creation were doing those monthly updates. I don't know if you
I did not. Uh,
once a month they were doing the same sort of thing. Uh, you know, what Lazy Peon, British guy.
I do. Yes, I do.
He made a video which kind of like it. It was about the Ashes, but something he said struck me. Felt very similar in this is a lot of the because it was kind of the beta. Everyone who was playing it very sweaty first half of that have been playing this
Hmm.
game, and they're all complaining about things changing, bugs and stuff. He said if you're playing this game every day, like a lot, 2 to 3 weeks of a bug feels like eternity. But if you just treat it like it is in early development and come back every few months and you actually measure the progress at that rate, a lot actually has happened.
Insane amounts, actually. Yes.
But I think, yeah, some of us way too much. Yeah, a class feeling strong for a month feels like an eternity when you're getting fired all day long. But I
Yes.
think that's something
Yeah,
good.
and that's one of the things that I'm kind of glad we're out of the early access for. Now that the game is launched and we have, for the most part, they do about once a week they try to do a bug fix or something of the sorts, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's even the brand new class, the Paladin, it's just slightly overtuned. I don't think anything is truly overpowered in this game, and it took us a while to get here, in my opinion. And I'm glad that it did because there's a lot of things going on with each class. There's a lot of things to balance out. And that's my ignorant stance on it is I think we're actually in a really good position right now. Including the brand new class.
Yeah, I heard one of the pallies on OCE saying, Trickery said something, Paladin's getting buff soon.
Mm. I don't know to what exactly, but I do know the one weakness is if there's any ranged, you're basically cooked. Even if you have a sword and shield, you with the throw hammer and the spear, you're just not able to compete with a ranged DPS, which is fine. You're not a ranged DPS. You're a paladin. But I wonder what they're gonna buff. If it's gonna be utility like the speed, maybe, because that would help, I guess. But I'm not sure what could be buffed because they're pretty strong.
Yeah, we got a guy with a legendary two-hander play arena with a bit, and yeah, if you one mistake and it gets you in a lockdown, like 80% of your HP.
Yep, very very unforgiving.
Yeah, and the heals you get from that Q as well. You can think you're in control and they get you as Qs heal back up. A lot of damage. Sudden you're in big
Yep,
trouble.
completely turn the tide. With just one move or one skill.
Absolutely. So in terms of the content that's come out, I suppose that is new or different to what we had before Eldegarde release. What do you think? I suppose what is there? We've got the introduction of the PVE. Let's start there.
That was a fantastic change. This may this may get a lot of hate, but that was 100% essential. I think that was a great change and it needed to be done. It's kind of like what you were just saying earlier. The only backlash that we really got from, hey, what if we introduced a PvE mode, was from the people with 1,000+ hours, and they were like, don't do that because then we're never gonna see anybody in the regular runs. And that's you have to get introduced somewhere so that you can go into the regular runs essentially. And one map was good enough in the early access. One map was Greenwood, or sorry,
Goldbrook.
yes, yes, that was a great addition. And I think season 2, that was phenomenal. But in my opinion, they needed to do what they did, which was expand upon it. They did fantastic. They made it rotate so that it's optional for everybody, but they made it PVE, only for one of them, and PvP only for the other. And most, actually, I would say almost all the newbies, anybody that I have talked to, anybody that's been in my stream that's new, which is the vast majority of what I get, they love it. They said I can finally play the game, and I'm like, yeah, like you don't have to worry about those 1,000+ hour people. who that's what they were complaining about is, well, now I have no one to kill. Kind of exactly. That's the whole point, dude, is you kill the other veterans, you worry about other people with 1,000 hours, and these new players get introduced. I think it is fantastic.
Yeah, I got to agree with you because the if you just join this game now and I started season 0, yeah, you can tell
Oh,
when
dang.
someone's new. And if they're just coming into lobbies and getting wiped over and over and over again, they're just not going to stick.
They're not. Who
They
I mean, who would, you
Nah,
know?
I would. Just, you need somewhere like you said that you can learn the PVE, learn
Truly,
learn how your
truly
class
just
works.
yeah, the weapons, the classes, your spells, everything because there's a lot to this game. A lot. And the as I said, the one map in the early access was perfect. But they did just I don't know what else they could have done, honestly. I'll just word it like that. This was the perfect answer, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Even OCE, we're a small community, but the PvE maps are quiet. But go into a PvE map, and there's people everywhere. And
Yep.
my thought and hope, I suppose, is those guys eventually get comfortable enough to want to start dabbling,
Well,
feeling
that's
like they're
I
just not getting wrecked.
right. I've actually seen that. I've seen it on US East. I've seen it. I don't have their names because they're new players, but I've seen their names highlighted in the starter areas, where you can see everybody. It's PvE. And I'll be in a map and or a PvP map, I will extract and spectate and I'll see them and you can tell they're scared, they're doing one mob at a time, but I see them in the regular runs.
Yep.
And that's exactly what it's for. That's exactly what we're talking about is we needed a bridge to fill, that gap. And I think it's just a perfect bridge right now. I think
Yeah.
it can be improved upon. They can do like on their end, because they know what's going on as far as what the player base wants and stuff like that for the most part. So they maybe can improve on it, but I think it was a almost perfect add-on.
Yeah, I think it was necessary. Like, if they didn't have that PVE map, I'd be scared to see what sort of numbers game would be at.
I
I don't
really
think
would
we
be
would have got
too.
near 1,000.
Well, I invited a lot of like um streamer friends. I made friends while the game was kind of low and not like enticing anybody, not like, hey, you should come get this game. But I was like, dude, I fucking love this game. I can't play enough of this game. Check it out. If it's interesting, I'll be there. Like, I can't stop playing it. And I got two or three pretty large streamers to come and play the game. And anytime I come watch them, they're on the PvE map trying to gear up. And I just, as you said, man, I don't even want to imagine what it would have been like to not have these maps because I don't think it would have been very, very good. I don't think it would have been as well as we're seeing.
Oh god, no! I would approximate like a third to even
I
less.
mean, I didn't want to be too depressing, but I was gonna say, 200 to 300, and that's just because of the loyal, sweats at this point. And
Yep, I totally agree, man. I'm totally with you on that one. Like I said, yeah, you might have a lot of buddies hate the fact that it wasn't. There'd be no game for you to
right,
play.
there would be no community, to bring up from the back, so that eventually they can fight and you can have those fights that you want.
Yep. All right. So if just off the top of your head with the new thing, what are let's just say three things that you're really liking about it, and maybe three things that you think could use work for you, generally
Um,
speaking.
the 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 Morthog map is great. I think it is awesome. Um, I guess on that same note, I don't know what the solution would be, but I've heard a lot of people not like that you only get one key a week. Um, they understand that like you can do it with friends and you get, you get in quotes more keys that way. But I've heard that quite a bit is they're not a fan of 1 week key. So I don't know what the solution would be, but I personally like the map. Like the whole design is super cool. The updated boss, awesome. Um, it's super challenging actually. I don't know if you have tried it or not, but it's a challenge just to get to the boss. There's like 100 elite mobs, that you have to beat. It's a lot of fun. It's a challenge for your whole team.
We did a 9 minute run last night, actually. And
Goodness.
me and a few guys have been trying to learn how to like speed run it. We want to try to get it sub 7.
All right, well I might take that back cuz it takes me like 20 minutes every time I do it with my group. Uh
Our first
but
few, yeah,
still,
like I think my first one would have been like close to half an hour, maybe 35 minutes. When you don't
ours
know
are
the
that's the
route,
standard.
yeah. But we're speed clearing it, you know what I mean, and ignoring things we don't have to
Yeah.
kill. This is, yeah, no, I think the difficulty in there is good, especially for like a new experience. If you didn't have
Yeah.
500 hours, you're going in there.
Yep, because that's who I'm playing with right now is those players that are brand new to it, and well, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to evade yet, or they don't know how to properly iframe, I should say. It's it's a whole experience, and we die, sometimes because it's that challenging. I think it was a great addition, and it's perfect uh layer. Like it's a perfect uh boss map introduction because I hope they do more like this.
Yeah, I really hope for it as well because it is great. It's just nice to break up the extraction loop or just the flat arena
Yes.
loop too. It's a nice change of pace. Some
Yep.
really
And
challenging PVE experience you can do with buddies. Unreal.
yeah.
Do you
So another
While we're
good thing.
Morthog's actually another thing. Keep your other good. Let's let's
Okay.
flesh this out a little more. Um, in terms of class balance in Morthog, like a lot of melees don't seem too fond of it. They struggle a little bit. Do you think it is a little bit more range friendly?
Um.
What
Well,
have you been
I
playing it
mean,
as?
that I was gonna say I kind of have an ignorant opinion in this one because I only play it as rogue or paladin, and it it's just like any other mob. Once you get his moves down, it's not the end of the world because you can still screw up and you can get hit with something, but then you just heal up. If you know how to dodge his attacks and stuff, even the new ones, like there's one where he like
The
jumps on
spinny
his
thing.
on his no, he jumps on his ass and then like does AoE damage to
Ah,
everybody.
yes, yep.
The I don't know what it's called, like the little flattener thing, but dude, you gotta iframe that now. I didn't even know that, but you gotta just if you learn it, because he's just like the ogre, or used to be anyway. He's just like a big ogre, like just a big, large ogre. And if you learn his stuff, it's still harder than if you're doing it ranged because you have less like to worry about. You don't have to dodge everything because you're ranged. But you actually, in my opinion, you get to do more damage because you're right there. You don't
No downtime
ever
really.
yeah, exactly. I was trying to find words. You don't lose time. You're full on aggro. Like there's times you might have to heal, but outside of that, you are doing damage to him constantly. And as long as you know how to dodge, like all the other mobs, I still get hit a lot. I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm any, I'm not the god at it, but once you know how to dodge, his stuff, it's it's pretty doable, I feel like, because you're ranged if you're doing it with a group anyway. Your range is in the back doing their job, handling ads, doing just ranged headshots on him, and you're holding aggro, doing all your iframes that you're supposed to do, not taking any damage. It just it's like smooth. It's how it's supposed to be. It's hard, it's challenging, but it's still a three-man, like, teamwork thing, and I think that's the best way to do it, is one guy knows what they're doing, holds the boss, essentially, holds the aggro, and just iframes all the interactions.
Have you had anyone in your group get knocked off the edge in that room yet?
So, interestingly enough, uh, our whole team wiped there once. There is a clip of it somewhere anyway, and then right after that run, we knocked him off the edge. Have you ever seen that before?
No. What happens?
Yeah, I hope we have a clip of that one too. So the hunter longbow knocks him back still, and I got him close to the edge on accident. I was holding aggro, just doing my iframes and stuff, and he, like, tried to hit me, and he was almost off the edge, and then someone hit him with the longbow, and it just it pushed him right over,
Yeah, right.
and he died. The gates opened, and it said we won, but we didn't get any loot, nothing.
That feels bad.
Yeah, so that I'm sure it's not gonna be in the game that long, but that was weird to see because he's a big guy, and then he just fell down and died instantly. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, it gives me the design of the raid too gives me if you played classic WoW at all, like do you remember Razorfen Crawl, Razorfen Downs,
Oh yeah, oh yeah, dude.
all the bridges with the raised platforms and
Yep.
even the color scheming and everything. I was like, this takes me back. Feels nice.
It does. When I walked in there and you see the lighting, like when you start the cave, and like the lighting is right in there, I was like, man, they did a hell of a job at just like I was just smiling. I was in a video game staring at my screen smiling. And I was like, dude, they did a damn good job at this.
Yeah, I'm with you. Glad someone else loves it as much as I do.
I I'm just a huge nerd for good content, for good shit. And like you can judge me, you could say whatever. I don't care because this I'm passionate about what I do, and this is what I do. I play video games, and I think they did a very very good thing in not season 1.0, in 1.0. Been doing that a lot. See, season 3, season 4, but now we're on the 1.0 launch. Like it's confusing to me.
Yeah, especially with the name change and everything.
Yeah, dude, I've been doing that too. I'm like, welcome everybody. This is Eldegarde, welcome.
I think I called it Legacy right at the start of the podcast too. I was like, yeah, perfect. Took me a while to
Yeah,
get
it's a
used to
great
that.
great start.
Oh, that's. I believe actually, I don't know if you saw the last Meet the Devs. I thought Chris mentioned something about their Morthog keys having a small chance to drop off mini bot. I mean, that was said, but I am yet to see one. Have you heard any tales of finding one? What?
I have not. He did say that though. I do remember that. I have not seen any. Yeah, because if that's the case, that's kind of the point that I had earlier. Is some people, were having issues with the only one time a week thing. Well, there's your answer. Is there's a chance anyway for you to get them in sub bosses or however they want to do it.
Yeah, even maybe a expensive barter somehow.
Yeah.
People interested in that kind of content. Or want to do, like I said, just practice speed runs over and over again.
Well, it's still really good loot. It's still challenging, as I said. I mean, there's 100 elites to beat. every single one of them in there is upgraded. You know, they have armor. They're the red form. They're the elites or whatever. It's a challenging run, in my opinion, to do all of it. You know, and to do it, especially if you're brand new. You know, for us, you're as you said, you're speed running it, but to clear the whole thing, it's it takes us about half an hour because I'm with a group of newbies. You know,
Yep. I think
and
half an
it's
hour is a
fun.
good
It's a
time.
challenge. Yeah, and I'm glad they gave us an hour because it gives us time to do and explore the whole thing.
Yeah, I saw Trickery doing it the other day too, and he was saying the Spider Queen is not meant to be staggerable. I think that will be much greater
Oh,
threat.
wow. Yeah,
That thing has
because right
got
now
some
it's just a
HP.
big yeah, right now it's just a big meat shield,
Yep.
but if it's not staggerable, that's gonna be a threat.
Yes. Those spiders are scary. One of my least favorite mobs to fight, to be honest.
I really liked that change as well. It's a special, you know, a special mob that is in there and it's nowhere else. It's that green, you know, that green spider.
Yep.
I think that's just super cool.
Yeah. And I agree. It's nice that they added, yeah, a secondary like mini boss in there. Make it really feel
Yeah,
like a
because
WoW dungeon sort of thing. Like,
exactly, it's something that we cannot obtain in Greenwood Day, Greenwood Night, or Crypts. It's
yep.
something that is exclusive, you know, to that. I just think that's very cool.
Yeah, I wonder what their plans are for something more like that. Whether we might see like a skeleton one or a bandit one.
A lot of people have been speculating Dragon Boss is going to be next. That's what they want anyway.
Yeah, I'm with them now. That's what I want to.
I'm not opposed to it, especially with them. I think a lot of the not the character designs, but the animations of the mobs and like the mob designs themselves, I think they are so cool. So I think they could make a badass dragon.
Yeah, that would be awesome to see. On the spot question: if it had to, what sort of elemental dragon you want to see?
Uh, so I don't know how else to describe it. I want it to be like an albino white lightning, just serpent esque, not like a regular dragon. I want it like serpent
And lightning
and white.
and white. We're talking
Yeah, dude. I don't
Yu-Gi-Oh.
know. Yeah, I don't know why, but white lightning is just speaking to me right now.
Wasn't that the OG Yu-Gi-Oh OP stuff? Blue eyes
I'm
white
pretty
dragon.
sure. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be very nice.
And I'm telling you,
Um,
I think they could do something cool as shit because they, what is it, season 3, they introduced what was the mini boss?
the gargoyle
Yes, thank you. Goodness. I thought that design was so cool, dude. The looks of it, the aesthetics, his moves, it's so cool. And that was their design. That was brand new. That was not in the game when I joined, you know, like that showed their potential in my opinion. That showed what they could do with something, you know, brand new.
yeah, even the in the day maps and stuff, you can see where the gargoyle statues are, like that black marks on the wall. Have you noticed that?
I have not.
Yeah, that got added to the gargoyle too. Just this little tiny thing, you know what I mean? It's not really for anyone, but
Yeah, and
just that
see,
little attention to detail, really nice.
that's what I'm talking about is eventually, well, even me, eventually those things will add up to where someone that, you know, hates the game or is not an advocate of the game will I mean, eventually they'll have to be like, okay, look at the game now. Look at what they've built. Because if, as you said, if they've been here since season one, season two, and you're here now, like the progress is crazy. And if you know are not liking the game and you come back, I don't know how you couldn't like the game essentially because I mean, it's complete. I'm sure they're gonna keep adding, but it's it's basically done. Like it's a very enjoyable game, you know.
Yeah, and it has so many ways to play it now. If you just want to do
There,
some chill
yeah,
farming, get on and do some PvE. You're not in the mood to be
lots
looking
and
over your
lots of
shoulder.
options.
Now, I cut you off with the second thing you were gonna say that you're really enjoying.
Um, right. So it's not really like anything super interesting. It's just the players, the actual like new players, and you get to watch and see because I'm playing. That's all I play with now is like newer players. That's my whole shtick is like I like to help new players and I play with new players and stuff like that. So we that's like all I do now, and we go do stuff and just the this is an example. I have a hunter friend and he uses the wind up. Man, I wish I knew these skill names. The wind up, the bird one,
The Sentinel Strike, the
and
one that you charge, not the instant.
yes,
Yep.
and he fucking loves it because there's no players to worry about him like coming in and just hunting him. So he charges up his shot, and that's how he goes in before every mob fight. And he yells some shit. He yells like Yahtzee like before he fires because it's that enjoyable to him. And I'm like, dude, like that's what this is a video game. This is what it's for. This is what it's all about. And me included, like I get so lost sometimes in just like, well, it's not efficient. We need to make the game balanced, and who gives a shit really, dude? It's a video game. We gotta have fun at the end of the day, right? Like, it's a video game. We're supposed to be having fun, boys. And that really helped. That was the point too, was just players and truly new players is what like inspired me to really just stay on my shit, really stay on my grind of helping the newbies and doing anything I can to get the word out about this game because I love this game. I can't stop playing this game. Players was the only thing we were missing, and I didn't even need players to have fun. But now that they're here and seeing like their excitement and their stuff for the game that I was feeling, dude, I love it. I just can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I'm with you. We last few nights we've been doing threes with our little community while it's up, like 9 to 11. And after that, we go in social hub and been getting new players in, trying to teach them how to duel.
Yeah,
Heaps of experienced
smart.
players will just watch and give them pointers after each and run them through how their abilities work properly, how to evade, how to counter attack. I think a really consistent thread from Telcom. Uh, I think us as the players really relies on how we treat you, how much we indoctrinate them in and make them feel welcome and give them a leg up. It's really important. So,
Yeah, I could not agree more. That was something that I didn't like when I joined this game in season one. A lot of the the LCP members, a lot of the people with big, pretty golden names at the time, I would come into chat and they would just, I mean, they would just be shitting on the game, and I'm like, well, why, what, like, what's going on? Like, what is happening? You know, that's not that's not good, or um it's not healthy or whatever. But it was the same thing that we were just talking about in season one. These players had 1,000+ hours, in season one, even in season zero and season one, and they just they had enough, I guess. They were too competitive, they were too impatient, and that was like the main thing I saw when I joined was just toxicity and just bad shit for like no reason. Again, it's over a video game and we're just trying to have fun here, right? Like what was the big deal? And the more I learned, I was like, why are we doing this? And as soon as I could, I got in the LCP, or yeah, in the LCP, and I made it my goal to do basically the opposite of that, because the world already has too much just toxic shit, and I'm gonna do my small part. I don't care if it's in a pixelated, area. I'm gonna do my small part, and that's what I did. Is join the LCP, tried to be a positive influence. Not so much weed out the toxicity, because they're gonna do what they're gonna do anyway. I can't control their shit. They're gonna do that. I'm gonna do me. And so far, I think Arcavian. I think he's the main advocate, but I think Arcavian, me, the whole branch of good people that are at the head of it and that stayed consistently streaming this game in the early access. I think it was absolutely essential, because without them, it wouldn't have. I mean, I probably wouldn't have been here. There was a lot of times I went to Arcavian stream, and I just was beat, dude. There was so much toxicity in the VIP chat that I just, like, I didn't I again I didn't see the point. They were arguing over just nothing, and I was like, man, like, what are we doing? And I was like, what do we do here? And he was like, look, well, you know Arcavian, we all know Arcavian. He said, look, brother. Said he did his whole speech, and I was like, God damn it, you're right. I was like, I gotta keeping on. And so that's what I did. Is I just kept my head down and kept being positive, because the world is just so full of that shit. And this group was no different until very recently, until very well, a few months anyway. It's been, I would say, unicorns and rainbows. The whole community as a whole has just been up. It has just been going uphill. I don't know how you feel about it, but that
Yeah,
is that is what I that's how I feel.
I'm a bit like you. It's pretty rare that I every so often I'll go have a look in the VIP chat. But yeah, there was for a while there. Jesus, it's just arguing. A lot of keyboard
I mean,
warriors non-stop. And you're like, oh,
I really thought about just leaving, because it's not like a boo-hoo type of shit, but I don't want to deal with that. Like I said, there's so much of it in the world, dude, that I don't want to deal with it when I'm trying to play my game, when I'm trying to play and just have fun. And that's all I was seeing in there. And so, man, dude, I was like, okay, so for starters, we're not going to add to it. And then we're going to do fucking everything we can to improve this, because I don't like this. And again, I was just trying to do my small part.
that's good. We need as many people doing it as possible. God bless Arcavian. He's an
Yeah,
absolute Chad.
I I've asked him a few times. I was like, I don't know, I don't know how you're so passionate still, because he's got a lot of heated, strong opinioned individuals in his chat every day. And ugh, like I said, I don't know how he does it.
I think it can't be on the internet too much if you let that stuff get to you. Some people just
True.
thrive on being antagonistic for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Let's go to the campaigns. Not a lot to say, but I think it's a good introduction to the game. And it's been in for a bit now, but they've added new ones like the vendor ones, and extra ways to get those lodge items. How do you
Yeah.
what do you think of?
They I think they did really well at having the end rewards, um not achievable. They made them, everybody wants them, because they're very valuable. All the master hammers are used for your lodge items, and if you want the upgraded ogre crates, they made it super valuable. Everything is is worth it, to spend the time essentially. The the one the one downside I would say is they need to have a like campaign tutorial. Uh, I ran into two new players in the extraction mode, and they were asking me how to get certain lodge items, and I told him about doing the storylines, and he said, "Oh, what? I don't even know what that is." And I was like, "Oh man, like how do you not know like anything about that whole tab essentially?" And I was like, "Well, if you're new, I mean, it's not jumbled, but there's just a lot. There's a lot to this game. Even in the lodge, even in the UI side, there's a lot to understand." And I guess, as a new player, you could get lost in not understanding, especially in the campaigns. One tree goes on for like it spreads off into 20 trees, but there's also like eight individual trees. So it's very confusing. I could see it. Uh, but that would be my one thing is it's a great addition. It's very sought after items, even for like the sweats, but maybe a little pop-up or something that says, "Hey, check out campaigns before you start," or something, because as a brand new player, there's few people that are not seeing it anyway.
Yeah, even knowing that if you open your map, can track them and see on the side there what you
On
actually
the
need
right
to
side,
do,
yeah,
like little
would
things like
be
that.
yes, exactly. Would be very helpful to just put up a little note that says, "Hey, check me out over here," or something.
Yep. Yeah, no, I'm with you. There is a lot of untelegraphed systems, I suppose call it. Like you don't
E-
know, you could play for tens of hours before somebody said something
Yep.
or you stumble across it.
Yeah, I think it would be quality of life changes. I think that would be the phrase, because it's not so much like game breaking. It's not, oh my God, it's just, well, that would have been convenient. That would have been nice to know.
Yeah. At least you don't have to activate the quest. So people could
Oh,
inadvertently probably
very,
look after playing for a few weeks and go, "Oh shit, I got
very
a,
true.
I got a lot of quests done here."
That was a little jumbled where you had to set the active and track it or whatever. And I don't know how many times I would have the wrong one set and go do the objective and then extract. And I'm like, what the hell? And
or
it's
you'd
just because
be
I had the wrong one set.
or you'd be halfway through one and then have to swap to another one and lose all your progress on a certain
Yeah.
that did not
Yeah,
feel
it was
very
it
good at
was a
all.
little janky. Glad we're here now.
Yeah. While we're talking about the UI and stuff, I think a dislike of mine for the few is the UI, the city system. I do you remember what it used to be? How
I
much
do,
easier?
yes.
I find
So
myself hitting escape and V and in out nut wrong escape V doing
I
that
am
stuff.
definitely against the grain here. Everyone shit talks me, but I like the new UI, okay? I really do. I don't know if it's easier. It doesn't like slow me down. I just think it's more convenient. The fact that you like the hotkeys for me didn't work in all the previous seasons, okay? I'll just be honest. I couldn't hit V. I couldn't hit anything. I had to go manually into my shit. And now that all I have to do is hit V, brother, I'm kind of cooking. I'm so happy. And everybody else hates it. They loved the old UI.
I'm with them on this one. You lost me there.
Dude, it's fine. I know I'm against the grain on it, but I gotta be honest, because I actually like this new UI. I don't really like how I wouldn't say jump all over the place, but when you change from the vendors, how it kind of warps your screen.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't really like that part. I wish it was either a little slower or just showed their character model or something. I think it's cool, but I don't like it.
I'm very excited for sort of sort button as well. Played a little bit of
Yes.
Arc Raiders when that came out, and people in that game were complaining about the inventory, man, and you guys no idea. This is
Yeah.
this is a little taste of heaven. Come play this game and talk to me about your inventory.
Yeah.
Again, I'd rather them fix some sort of game breaking bug, combat related stuff always first, but
Oh,
very
absolutely.
excited for the day that we get some stash sort. That will be very handy.
I heard a wild phrase a while back, which was in quotes here. I had a lot of friends that will not come back until there's a stash um, sort button, and I'm thinking, if you're if you're that like weak, I guess that you already bought the fucking game, dude. Like, if you're really not willing to put in a little bit of time and a little bit of effort just because of the stash, just because there's no sort button, I was like, whatever. That's your own loss, I guess. That's a little ridiculous to me.
I've heard that said many times as well. My
Like,
thought process with that is if that's the hill they're going to die on, even if that gets fixed, there's going to be that next tiny hill that they're
yeah,
going to
like that
say, nah, don't want it because
exactly,
of this. As
because that was insanity to me. Is like, you don't, like, it's not, because at the time it wasn't the 100 bugs. It wasn't the it was the stash inventory. I was like, dude, okay, like whatever.
well, each to their own, I suppose.
Exactly. That's why I just let him be, and I was like, okay,
Now I've
I'll just
heard,
keep playing.
yeah, no, you go.
Oh, and I was just gonna say, I'll just keep playing. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. It's not gonna stop me none, you know. I don't need a stash inventory sort button to play the game. So
I'd like it, but I don't need it.
yeah, exactly. It would be convenient. I would like it, but I like the game enough that it's not gonna ruin it for me. Cheapers.
Now, I don't know if you know anything about this. Someone told me it may be a bug, but um, the crafting now in the loom, forge, all that stuff, that they're still meant to be really long time. Whereas now, you put your mineral in, whatever, and it's quick. Do you remember it was like 6 hours before for the high end
Yes.
gear?
Yes.
Um, I'm hoping it's not a bug and it's permanent. I think even to unlock, especially for a casual player, to to get to the point of being able to craft your blood skills through base until it's a big grind, especially if you're
It
new
is.
and you don't know what you. And then to be met with an hour to 3 to 6 hour time craft one of the items, I think pretty, and I think far better. I'm hoping. I don't know if you've heard about it. But what are your thoughts on?
I have not heard anything as far as it's a bug. Um, yeah, I hope it doesn't get like reverted or anything like that. I thought it was a appropriate change whenever it did happen. I also thought it happened for a reason, but I don't know what the reason is now. I think it's I don't think it should change though. I I I don't know what it would change to if they did change it, but I don't know why we would change it. It's good right now and most people like it. So I
Yeah,
hope anyway it doesn't get changed and that it's not a bug, you know, because I think it's mostly approved of as of right now, which is good. That's what you want, you know.
yeah, the time sink, like I said, is getting to the point to be able to make gear. You don't then want to be time sunk again crafting.
Yeah, 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 because you want the grind to either be one or the other. You want the grind to be in the adventures, trying to unlock all this stuff, which is what they want. You know, that's the whole design of the game. They don't want you in the lodge, literally just waiting. That's not what they want. That's not a game, you know.
Yeah, it's doesn't doesn't feel good in any
Y-
way.
yeah, it doesn't translate super well with their their like concept either.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, that's about all I had for like UI stash and lodge. I don't got any final things you want to say about any stuff.
One final hope, basically, and I told them this in one of the MTDs. I think season 2, season 3. I raised my hand and went up there because I was like that excited about it. Okay, they when they introduced the new UI, the one that everybody hates, the one that I love, I asked, if we could expand upon it, if we could do something with it, and I said, hey, can we have like a place like where you have the armor, the the tail, like you are in a square, a hub with all the other players essentially, and everybody has access to all those that you can just go like run to, like you're in a dungeon, but you're not. It's just a hub, and that's how you then access all of the vendors is their own like little map. So that was my hope. That was just my like my little dream.
Yeah, like you got a little
And
Ogrimmar stretch sort of thing with a bunch of shops there.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And you can actually go walk up to them, hit E or hit F, whatever your key is, and interact, and they'll not speak or whatever, but they'll show you their show you their goods, and and then but you can also see other players in there and show them. That was my hope. That was my idea, and that would be super cool. I'm sure that's like way in the future if it's even a thought, but I think that would be super cool, like a lodge hub, of sorts. And they kind of, anyway, did something like that with the guilds, kind of,
Yeah,
where,
I remember you asking that question. I remember
dude, I
thinking to
want it.
myself, I just wonder how long till the novelty of that wears off and having to physically run them back and forth between feels
So that was
tedious.
right. That was my other thought is I would hate to load into a map or whatever every time I needed to do that. That would suck.
If it was an
But
optional thing, if you could just do it from the start screen, or if you wanted to go in, see who's kicking around and do the RP thing, I think that would be great. But yeah, if
it
I
would
had to
just
load in every single time and then run to this bloke
yeah.
and then run over to that bloke and then go,
Yeah.
oh shit, I forgot this. I got to run back over to him and do this.
No, I completely get that part. I just think well, I just think the idea would be cool if if it was like a real like an MMO, like true. I
Yeah,
just think
like
that part would be cool
yeah, I'd be totally for it. Like I said, if it was optional, you could do things from the main menu, but you could also go in there. I think buy it.
because I said especially for helping like new players, for what I'm doing, I could take my whole group in there, my whole new group, and just, I mean, let them go loose, dude. Because right
Yeah.
now they just have to like explain over VC, what's happening, what they're seeing, and stuff like that. And
Even
this
if
way, I could say,
they opened up that church in the social hub
yeah,
and they had
bro,
some rooms in there and they had the
you're
vendors all in
you're
there,
cooking, you're onto something already.
that could be cool.
Just a little intro to like show you what each of the vendors does, what you're supposed to get in the dungeons to progress those people. It would show them what they want, like loot wise, and you could shop at them. You're onto something here.
Yeah,
You
that
got
would
it.
be fun. And then you can duel outside of there as well, like you're safe inside
Exactly.
and
With your new supplies and shit like that.
yeah. Oh yeah, because then you could go over. I need this potion. Go craft it
Yeah,
easily,
so I'm
or
telling you, it's a pretty decent idea. The idea was just rough, at the time. This was 3 months ago or so. I don't even know.
yeah,
I just think it's a very cool idea.
yeah. If it's in
But
there, I'm with
anyway,
you.
that was my one last thing I had to say about the UI.
Yeah, no, I like that. Something. What are we up to? The drop rates. What do you? How do you feel about the improved drop rates?
I'm a pretty big fan. I think most people are as well. Even my new players I'm with, they this is not a very good look, but a couple of them have died to just bugs, like no NPCs, no players or anything, and they're not too upset because gear is pretty obtainable. Gear is even well blue gear, for a new players like it's a legendary to them, and I've seen lots of new players, or not lots. I'm sorry, two new players at this point lose blue kits and they're like, it's fine. I just made another one, or I had a spare. That never would have happened in the old times. That's all I'm gonna say.
I remember
So
losing a blue kit, especially early on in the season back then.
it was devastating.
I think it
It
was season
was,
one or season two. I went under the cemetery into that room where you step on the block, the gate opens up.
oh yeah, the or the spider
Not the spider one, the
room.
one under cemetery. There was just the one skeleton guy in there, and you killed him. The gate would reopen.
Oh,
Went in there, killed
okay.
him. Gate did not open. Stuck in there. The first blue
No,
set
dude.
gone. I wanted to cry.
No.
But yeah, the
That's the worst way to lose it.
oh, it was
Bugs.
so bad. The I couldn't agree more with you. I think even I've been a little apprehensive with gear fear in the past season. Get those purples and don't want them on.
Yep.
It's so
It
hard to get and felt so bad that
and it's very counterproductive because that makes them not want to play your game. And again, that's the whole point of a video game is to not stress, to get away from the bullshit and to just have fun. And if you can't wear good gear because it is that good, it's that rare, it's not very fun.
yeah, what do you have it for then? What's the point of this
Yeah,
gear if
if
it's
it's
gonna
just
sit
in
in
your
my bag?
stash.
Yeah, dust
Yeah.
collecting.
So I'm a big fan of the changes, and I think um generally received it was a good change as well. Newbies and vets.
Yeah, I haven't heard it say anything negative about it. Right. What about
Same actually.
the variation between the drop rates in PvE versus PvP? Do you think that's strong enough? The difference?
I do. I do. Cuz I only play PvP maps and a lot of my viewers only play the PvE, and when I get the juice they're like, "Dude, where are you? Like what is going on?" And I'm like, "It's just the PvP map, man. Like it's it's blues and purples is kind of like the standard if you kill a sub boss, and it's green and blues on, not those maps. And if you're new, you definitely see it because blues and perps is like the standard for, the loot that I get. And everybody or most everybody that's new is just kind of shocked when they see it, even though it's a standard.
Yep.
So I
Yeah,
think
well,
it's pretty appropriate.
the only time I've gotten a legendary in game was off a Night Ogre, and he had legendary warrior chest and three purple. Yeah,
Damn.
this is what it should be.
It's I was gonna say, I mean, it seems pretty appropriate, dude. It's a sub boss. Um, I would say one of like the one right under the big boss. He's the hardest boss under the final boss.
Yep.
It should be damn good loot.
A way to get a. I don't know what you mean, man. I'm a streamer. What else? Before we touch Paladin, actually, last thing is the arena. Are you much of an arena, Andy?
Yeah. At this point, I would say I am actually.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of an end game sort of something to do for end game without huge amounts of players, I suppose. You're farmed up. It's the best way to
Yeah,
go, kind
it's
of test your gear and the other good players.
I have a I mean, it's just an idea, but I have an idea, and I really think it would be good for when, and if we get a large. large player base, there should be one arena with pre-built uh, gear in it that is not ranked, and then one that is bring your own gear with a ranked MMR. And I know we don't do it right now because there's just simply not enough players. It wouldn't support it very well. But I've heard even from the vets actually at this point, I've heard probably half and half that they hate the arena because it's bring your own gear, and they don't do it for that reason. Uh, and then the other half is, well, that's the whole reason they play is to get the arena kit, and then they don't play the extraction ever again, essentially. So it's a double-edged sword, really, because the whole point of the game, supposedly anyway, is PvP PvE extraction, which would be in the rounds in the match. You do your fighting. But if the arena itself is exclusive and you don't really lose anything, essentially, you just bring your own gear or it's provided to you. It incentivizes like to not play the game, how it's supposed to be. So I don't know what you're supposed to do by adding an arena and having PvP PvE extraction. Like I don't know, unless you just have a huge player base, uh I don't know anyway what the solution would be,
Yeah, that's kind of what the argument has always been. The two
right?
sides of
Cuz
that camp. It's like it's
yeah.
taking away from the extraction, but some people are like, well, I want to play arena, have my gear, and because the arena experience in my opinion, number one, it's what I love. I used to wake up 3 a.m. in a buddy to play the arenas when they had them on every weekend. We were up at 2:45 a.m. to play it. It's so fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's someone I can't remember. One of the OCE boys said if it was bring your own gear in the rated thing, um, this would work for the very very top end players, the guys that were taking it real serious. Um,
Mhm.
you would lose only legendary pieces, so you could go in purples guilt free, but at that high end, everyone's going to be gunning for those legendaries, even if it was one piece. You know what I mean? You had to
Ah.
put
So
a
there's an actual loss, there's an actual risk to when you do sign up for it.
yeah, but only
Oh,
legendaries. So people on the lower
right.
end who are in their blues and purples and play for a bit of fun. There's no
That's a
big,
that's a pretty good idea
but yeah, the guys who are
because
taking it super serious. They want to be in the
yeah,
best gear they can be, and they're putting something on the line, and it
that's how
keeps
you
them.
prove it. Exactly. That right there. That's how you do it. I like that.
Yeah, something like that though. It is a tricky one.
Well, I really think you're onto something though, because with them upping the percentage of loot and especially legendaries, they could do some tweaking. They could have it more obtainable, the all the legendaries and shit when they do introduce this. But that's a really good idea because it makes the stakes actually important, and it really does appease those people who just play the arena to play the damn arena.
Yep,
They can have their fun. They can and as soon as they're out of gear to barter, they're gonna have to go back into the runs to
exactly.
get
Yeah,
one legendary piece, and then barter and so on. So, or maybe they just won't play, but either way, that's a pretty decent idea. I really like that.
yeah. Was another thing I had like if you know how there's the weekly reset for the quests as well, like their
Hmm.
weekly quests. Just say when that rolls over, you can't just queue arena. You have to buy a weekly ticket for arena, say, and it might be 10 myth, 10 base
Oh,
one. Just something that forces
bro,
people to even go in. It's like, all right, I need to get the materials to get the week.
you
And
need to be a fucking dev, dude. You're
I don't
you're
know
on
about
you're
that.
thinking of out of the box things that are like that's a good answer to that problem. Like that's a viable right now. You could implement that and it would I mean, I don't know if it would do well, obviously, but it's a fucking answer.
Yeah.
That's
But you
crazy.
you could have it as well. So like when it ticks over, it's like a quest, and you got to collect a whole bunch of stuff. You can't just have it in your bag already. It has to be
Yeah.
physically picked up in the map after that reset happens. But at least,
Or
yeah,
kill,
yeah, you have
kill
to,
ogre, kill enchanted armor, something big.
yeah,
Spend some
just to
time in the run.
force them to spend a few hours at least playing the
Yeah,
maps.
that's not bad. And especially if they're that far along anyway, chances are they're not gonna just quit because they lost a legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Um. Yeah, I hope they do bring an MMR system too. Because I mean, right now you got those leaderboards, but all that means is essentially those people are playing arena more than everyone else. It kind of
Yeah,
reminds me of the
time
classic
really.
classic WoW on a grind. Like that guy's Grand Marshal. That just means he doesn't have a life. Doesn't
Yeah,
mean he's actually good.
exactly.
But yeah, most of the dudes up the
Yeah.
top, they are very skilled players. But
Yeah,
at times,
that exact phrase happened in Dark and Darker a lot was I would see someone with like the highest rank or whatever, and the highest rank doesn't mean that they're good at PvP and that I should be scared of them. It means they can extract well from the map, like that's all that meant.
yeah. So the last thing on new content before we go future is Paladin. My Paladin's level 5, so it's a bit limited, but I've played against Paladins a lot, and I know you've got some good experience. So, why don't you tell us what you think, how you feel about it?
The Paladin is strong and fun. It is a great character design. Um, I mean, I think that's it. I don't have like a bunch. It's
As
just so much fun, dude.
Where do you think it's
Like,
how do you think it goes? Like, let's say 1v1 versus 2v2 and 3v3. Because in the 3v3s we've done, I think Paladin is so jacked. Like as a support utility class,
yeah.
they
So
are amazing.
their strong suit, I would for sure say, is twos and threes. They're still strong solo. They can do their shit solo just fine. But to make a paladin useful, like to do what it's supposed to do, twos and threes is where it's supposed to be used. And the white armor set is where it's also supposed to be used. The black one's like pure damage. And if you do it right, you can just have your allies enhanced and buffed with you while you're going into combat. It's it's very strong. They can also heal you while not doing or while not having a healing spell or anything. They just passively heal you.
Is that through damage they
It's
deal? Is it kind of like a
it
spell vamp
is.
sort of thing?
It is spell vamp. So everybody gets spell vamp, but the paladin gets increased, and then when you use your skill on the spinning hammer specifically, it heals you and your allies. It's insanity, as you were saying, on the support scale, on the just enhancing scale for the team. It is crazy, crazy strong. And as I said, they're so much fun. The character design, the model, the armor, everything is just so cool.
What's the kind of skill expression you reckon with the use of your seals and how they will augment the next ability? At a glance, it looks pretty complicated, and like there's a high skill ceiling to it and a lot to take in. How do you feel about
There, in my ignorant opinion, there's a lot to learn. Uh, we only played. I keep saying we. I only played the uh, PTR for about 10 hours, and all of it was spent on Paladin, so I didn't have much time on it. So when 1.0 came out, we were basically brand new on it. I just said we again, jeepers. Um, and it took us probably 40 hours to just learn when to activate what seal. Like when it was actually appropriate to do what seal. Until then, we were just spamming shit because it was doing stuff, you know? Like
Yeah.
we knew the red seal made us um or at the time we thought it was more damage and something else, but it was unstoppable. And so we were just spamming shit until about 40 hours into the class specific where I was like, okay, before I do the spinning hammer, I should be activating the white seal because that increases healing, which means it's basically two times healing. And right before I do the spinning hammer, I need to do the red seal, which makes me unstoppable, so that I can't be. It took us 40 hours of just hardcore grinding, basically, because this is all I play. I don't do anything else. And once we got it figured out, I still don't even have it like concrete, but once we got it figured out, it's pretty smooth and it's pretty straightforward. But it took us about 40 hours and a lot of just getting our ass kicked and just spamming buttons and stuff.
Yeah, that's the point where I'm at with. Can you for the people run us through the seals? There's four, correct?
Yes. Man, I wish I knew the names. Um,
There's protection, isn't there? There's
Seal of Protection is the blue one. Seal of Re- Retribution is the red one. Seal of Light is the white one. And I think Seal of like the Charger is the horse. Seal of the something. Uh, so we'll start with the blue one. The Seal of Protection gives uh block pips and armor, if I'm not mistaken.
that's how they
My
increase my pips too. I've seen
so
that when I'm playing staff. I sometimes have six
okay,
pips.
I was gonna say that's the only way that I've discovered it is I was on Rogue. I had used some block pips. A paladin activated that, and I was restored on block pips. So it restores block pips and gives a small shield. It's
It
it's kind it's a
increases
big
your
deal.
max block pips though, doesn't it? I'm certain
I
it gives you
cannot
two
confirm that.
extra.
Well, if you're already full, it might give you two. I just know I was
Ah,
down two.
okay.
I
Yeah.
I'm not sure of that one. Yeah.
So it will over shield if you're full. Otherwise it will just replenish two if you
Yep.
are.
That is Then yeah, that's confirmed then because that's exactly what happened to me was I had just used a sword rogue parry and I was down two block pips. And then he did that and it just restored them. But
Right.
in your case it was overfill. So good. Now we know that. Anyway,
Right, so that's one of
that
them.
that's the blue seal. The red seal makes you and your allies unstoppable. But I've already learned this. I've been tricked many times. You can't like have it already active, or you can't activate it while you're being staggered. So you need to have it pre-activated before you do your big moves, before you plan to do anything. Essentially, right before you go into combat, you need to save that seal because it makes you unstoppable. It makes where you can't be staggered and your moves can't be staggered. It's essential. The other ones, I mean, I guess if you need to heal, you use the white one, but it's just not worth it. You'll be stopped. You'll get staggered.
Is there, can you spam two seals one after another, or is there some sort of internal
There
cooldown?
is a cooldown, 10 seconds between each seal.
Okay.
But with the white set, if you have the whole white set anyway, it's you have um
Duration on the
increased
seal length?
seal duration. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yep. So that's how they're getting the double seals off.
Yes, and actually, I don't know if you saw one of the most recent clips or not. I discovered you can have three seals active on yourself. Two are like the leftovers, and one is the seal that you just activated.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
should have a clip. We should have a clip of it on my. thing
You
because we
get
just recently discovered it.
you get the tail end of like your first one essentially as you're putting your
Yep.
third
And
up.
it doesn't last long, but you can have 3, dude. It's fucking sick. I'm having so much fun on it.
Yeah, one of the boys in chat said too, it'd be nice in PVE map there was a dual a gentleman agreement to actually fight, put down your
So,
flag or something.
I was just gonna say, expanding on Arcavian's idea in MTD, I think season 3, I think, when he was like, "Hey, uh, make the flag do more shit." And I was like, "Ah, I like that. Like, make the flag do some shit. Like, that's actually kind of cool because the flag already is cosmetically like very cool. I paid for all that, all the skins, dude. It's so cool. I have no problems with paying for cool shit. But make it do more. I think that'd be a great idea."
I agree. That would be a nice use of it. And just allow those people, I suppose, in the PvE maps to they're learning if they wanna dabble in a bit of PvP and they know it's only against the person you put it, so you're not gonna have someone come along and third party you both when you're low.
See, and on that same note, they would have to fix uh bleed and poison though, because I have gentleman dueled someone and we both die because of hemorrhage, and then we both lose our kits for nothing, and it fucking sucks, dude.
I saw
So we
that
we
happen to
both
Zaryu actually while he was playing.
dude, we both agreed, we were both super chill, and then that's what we get for being nice, basically, was we both lost our shit.
That's a fun one. All right, we'll move into the future content.
Oh
So,
yeah, the witch, new maps, new mobs, yada yada.
yeah, in-game events. It's something I've been screaming from the mountaintops for a while. They've been reaching it a bit recently in the Meet the Devs, talking about. I think they were talking about small, medium, and large. Last thing I heard, with large obviously
Oh,
being really rare, like the weather event with the Toad folk. You remember him chatting about that?
yes. Yes.
But I've harped on about this in a lot of them. So again, but what are your thoughts on these in-game events, making the maps a bit
I
more
will
dynamic?
yeah, I will bore people with it then cuz I haven't talked much about it. Just this might be a little bit off subject, but it's I guarantee it has something to do with this. But uh in one of the expansions in WoW, it was Miss of Pandaria. They had a event like a world event, that spawned up once every hour, once every 2 hours, something. It was this huge dinosaur, and there was like a town on his back, and I wanted the mount, and like the loot and shit from him. So I literally just used to sit there and wait for hours and hours, and I would just sit there because that's what I wanted. That's all I wanted was that mount and the legendary loot or whatever, the good loot. And even now, to this day, I don't know like what else I did in that expansion, but I know that was so much fun because the people on his back, it was like a little siege, but from this huge dinosaur's um from his back, and we had to defend, the siege, and if we defended the siege, we got the loot, and that was so much fun. You could do it with horde and alliance, and you made not a pact or whatever, but when you did it with the horde and alliance, you couldn't attack each other. It was a true like world event. It was so cool. And anything like that in this game, something any just vaguely like that in this game would just put me over the fucking moon, dude. I don't even know what I would do because I'm already impressed with with the Morthog's lair. I love that map. It is so cool. The design's so cool. Where we have to siege and stuff like. I just think it is amazing. And if
Yeah,
they did just anything like this or like that in this, oh, I think it would just be a huge hit.
there's so many things they could do. Like zeppelins dropping loot, the hot spots. You do the Hellfire Peninsula, that Fell Reaver sort of thing, just roaming
Oh,
around.
dude.
So you're not
Yeah,
safe
big.
anywhere. You can think you're on the side of the
Yeah,
map, and all of a sudden,
dude. That's such a good point, actually. In WoW, that was the same shit. What expansion was that?
Burning Crusade, Fell Reaver.
Right. It was way early, and I used to just stare at that thing, dude, because you could see it from like actually across the map, and I was like, oh my god, like there's no
You could
way I'm
also be
ever gonna be able.
fighting a mob, and he sneaks up behind you and wipes you.
Yep, and then just fucking boom. Yeah, it's just as cool. The anticipation, the aspect of it is enticing, you know?
Yep. This leads to each feeling a little bit different. And yeah, a multitude of events and like different level rarities, like we talked about, like if there were
Shit,
rarer ones, bigger ones, and you loaded in and that happened, hype, let's go. We got this roaming
it would
world
be
boss,
a
this
seed,
one, or
right? Like a random seed.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Toad
So
folk sounds cool. They,
you
the
said you've talked about it a lot, right?
yeah.
Can you give me an idea, like one example of what you personally would do then? What you would implement, what your idea is for a
Oh man,
world
I came up with like
event?
15 different things. Um, one of them, I even made like an AI trailer for one of them, little concept I made, but it was for the crypt specifically. You'd load into a map, and at X amount point, you'd start hearing like a chanting, and like those circles they have in the crypts. There's like the ear spawn, or the ear spawn, ear extract.
Oh yeah.
Like you could hear cultists in there chanting, and at a certain point, they summon like a demon boss in there. What else? In like
Okay.
Greenwood, there could be a really rare key or a giant door, and you go open it, horn sound, and it starts like a 5 minute countdown for letting a giant boss come out. You could do said like there's Zeppelin drops, like could be warship horn. It means there's a Zeppelin going to be flying overhead, and it alerts you on the map where they're going to drop in a loot cache and things like that. Something map wide alerts for everyone in the server to know that this is going down on this map this time. Be roaming like you could have roaming bosses like Phil Reaver style, but you could also have smaller scale ones like the caravan.
A swarm of
Yeah,
enemies
like
instead of one big.
like a bunch of goblins are carting. They've got like a
Yeah.
little cart. They've got a big mob of them cruising from the glittering gulch down the bottom up to the goblin cave with rare ores and gems or whatever. Just
So okay, I'm just gonna expand on this idea because it's hitting me right now. The caravan, the intro would be you beat like ten goblins, and you think it's over. And then that's when a fucking white dragon from the sky comes out, and that's the intro to one of the new bosses. Is you have to
yeah,
get that rare key or whatever, and then that'll spawn the world boss, for that not server, but that lobby.
yeah. Just things,
And then
yeah.
it's like, and
I
then
don't.
it would be, I don't care about this loot anymore. Let's go as a team and let's go do this, because it would be not friendly fire, it would be teamwork. All of
Yes.
us versus this big enemy.
Yeah, that would be cool too. Something that actually required people
Like
in the
six
same
of six
lobby.
players
Yeah.
in the before they could start it or something, something like that that you can't just do it with your team. Like you got to have teamwork. So,
Yes.
something. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. Definitely just a new aspect of play the game, and it's that just really brings about uh player created content, I suppose. Like
Oh, yeah. It would make their own good YouTube videos that they don't have to be sponsored, they don't have to do anything. Like they just make a good video with that.
Yes, 100%. Well, let's go to. They've talked about battlegrounds. Even talking about that last time, more large scale PvP objective focused maps. I, for one,
So
am all for it. My big concern before you go is I don't like the idea of a capture the flag. Um, I don't like the idea of any sort of PvP objective map in this game where focus is all on one single point. Because I don't
dang,
think this
okay.
game would go really well with if it was 6v6 or 5v5, you got 10 to 12 players all fighting at the same spot. I think it'd just be a nightmare. The CC, the burst, it would just
Yeah,
be,
the insta death and shit.
yeah. I think it would
Yeah.
be much better. Do you remember the that minecart map, PvP map in WoW?
Oh yeah.
Something like
Yeah,
that, where you
where you
need,
have to lead the objective, right?
well, they just come out from the center and they head towards different doors, and whoever has control of the cart when it gets to the end
Yeah.
receives the points for it. But there might be three carts in play, so it's kind of incentivizes people to split up. It's like, all right, we'll send the pally and the priest to this one, send the hunter and the wizard over there,
Yeah.
and it,
That's that's exactly you're exactly right. Cause I remember doing that and wow. It didn't ever work out well, but we tried anyway.
yeah. What are your thoughts on
Dude,
on that? Are you that's something you're
that
keen for the
that would
battlegrounds?
that sounds like a fucking blast, dude. And other objectives as well, uh like taking certain objects, one one person, but they can't do spells or anything. They can't do any skills while they're holding that thing, so they basically have to be guarded. Uh, walking like a rare diamond or some shit back to your base or
Like
something
that?
like that.
Yeah, like you
And
physically
and
pick
and
something
again,
up and you're carrying it.
yeah, you can't evade, you can't do like you could put it down if you wanted, but you can't do anything. So you have to be guarded essentially. I
Yeah,
like that idea of just a true and not just threes, a team based objective in this game of just PvP would be pretty fun. I
what
hadn't
sort
really
of
considered that.
if they do go down that route, what do you think about like rewards? What's the reason people are going to be wanting to do this besides just fun? We know it's
Um, seasonal shit. That's why. So you can get rank 1 through 10, rank 1 through 20, whatever they want to set it to. 1 through 4 is gonna be like pretty obtainable for the average Joe. It'll be like the white through green rank, and then 4 through 10 is where you start to see the sweats and shit. You start to see the people who've put in a lot of time, who have a lot of good gear, shit like that. The people who are on comms, and the end loot from like 7 to 10 tier would be all legendaries, and it would only get better from there. I'm not saying like a unique item or some shit. I don't want any more crazy stuff. I'm saying uh like like legendary rings or, something crazy for like the end tier.
I was
That's
thinking
my rough
even
idea.
just titles, different colored skins, something that kind of
Shit.
just
Or
makes you
something
stand
like that,
out.
yeah.
I think people just
I was
even that they just want to
I
be.
was thinking like for that season, like physical, things, but you're thinking of again, dude, you're a dev at heart. Come on. You got too many damn good ideas, bro.
I'm sure not everyone agrees. But yeah, I think something like that would be really cool. Even if the imagine the sweat you'd get if there was this kind of more social hub like you were talking about where people could just hang out and top 1% in each region after a PvP season, got a mount to ride around in.
Oh my. So would that not be incentive wait, incentive Wait, hold on. What's the fucking word?
Incentivizing?
Incentive. Would that not be enough of an incentive to do it for like a lot of people to be like, man, I want to learn some PvP. Like even if I'm
100%.
not the goat, like like something very special that you don't see, and you're like, dude, this guy has no life. Well, sure, but look at what he's fucking got.
Even weapon glows. Top
Yeah, like
1%
certain
get like a
aesthetics.
fiery effect or a frost effect,
Yeah,
or and then you
because
see him running
especially
around.
then, yeah, in the extraction, you would be like, okay, this guy's. I need to fucking run. Like I'm gonna die. Like this guy's a menace.
Yeah,
You
maybe
would
those
get that
guys don't want it because
respect.
they wouldn't want everyone just running from him as soon as they saw that glowy weapon.
Well, true.
But yeah, I think there's some really cool ways they could do that sort of stuff without actually increasing player power, but give people rewards that
Cool stuff that is
yeah,
sought after. That
yep,
is like, damn, that's cool. I want that. Just for no other reason other than to have it.
yeah,
I think you're really smart about that side of the industry because I'm always about like, okay, what's rewards to incentivize people to do more shit. Like and I'm always like in game rewards. I'm hardly thinking about like cosmetics and stuff, I guess that doesn't, I guess, help. Well, yeah, it doesn't do anything. It just makes you look cool as shit, which I'm not opposed to that, but I'm always like, man, what can I do to make people want to play more? And I
yeah,
guess that's a whole nother region would be just cosmetics,
yep.
just fucking looking cool.
Yeah, well, you saw people are buying those campaigns just for the banner
I
upgrades
mean,
and
I'm
cosmetics
one
and
of them.
stuff. Yeah,
It's a
they've
cool thing, and I like to look cool in my games that I play. Like period. That's it.
yep,
It's not very hard to understand. Just I like what I do, and I want to look cool at what I do.
100%.
So if I got to spend a little bit of money, I'm okay for that. I want to look cool.
Instance content. We kind of discussed that earlier with Morthog, like talking about whether I think we both agreed more of that is a good thing for the game. Break up the pace.
Yes. Yeah.
If,
I don't know what the plan would be for in the future, but I really hope to see more key maps to where it, like you said, it breaks up the grind. It breaks up the normal Greenwood Day and Crips map and the arena.
how would you feel about even bigger sizes than three? They had a 5 player, 6 player instance group.
Wow. I mean, I think that would be super cool, but how like it would be like the the boss run we have now. You would have to you would have to take some time, dude. You would have to spend like 2 hours, I feel like, in a dungeon, or it wouldn't be worth it for 6 players. Because you're gonna kill a lot of mobs.
Yeah.
So you would have to have a huge map, which entail or which then you would have to have a lot of time, because we already have a 1 hour time limit on the one we have now. And if you're a new player, it takes you about 20 minutes to half an hour to like to clear that usually. And I just see that being a problem of that's a commitment essentially. You have to commit like an hour, hour and a half to a dungeon if there's that many players. I think it'd be cool, but I don't know how you would like how you would handle it. Maybe a horde scenario where you're getting sieged. You have to defend onslaught after onslaught, maybe that, and you can defend wall or you can repair walls or some shit. Maybe something like that to where they come to you.
Oh,
But
like a
outside of
wave
that,
defense. Like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, what was that
Like
raid in
zombies.
TBC? Mount Hyjal. That was literally you just start waves. It was 8 waves, and at the end of each 8 waves, a new boss would come out.
Yeah. So something like that I could see for like a big player, 4 to 6 player base uh run. But outside of that, it seems too big. It seems like too much for right now. Maybe I just can't see it, but maybe it's too much. Um, I don't know the right like wording, but
Yeah, three. You're probably right. 3v3, it definitely good. It could be the right number to those PVE encounters. Leave the bigger scale stuff for these battlegrounds, if and when they do get to that.
well, I'm just thinking about it because at some point, realistically anyway, if the game grows big enough, we will have to do something like that. 6v6s, 10v10s and up and so on. Large, huge maps and stuff like that. I just don't know how it's gonna fucking work because there's already 12 players in a standard map, right? In a standard extraction map, like um that's the largest amount that you can have in one game or in one lobby. I think they just changed it to 9 like very recently. But
That's just for crypts.
okay, okay. So 12 either way was the standard. If you go into a PvE map, you see someone almost immediately because the lobby's full. And I'm just thinking like, well, yeah, you got to have a big map if that's the idea. Then I don't know what else you could do then because there's already 12 play or you. I'm just trying to get like a scale anyway. There's already 12 players on a normal map, and I've been in a normal map, and there's no mobs to kill left because there's so many people, and there's just so much damage coming out, and stuff like that. So you would either have to just significantly increase the mob density, like a lot, or like I said, the horde thingy. I think that's a decent idea.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know what they
really
would
like
do,
that idea.
expand on that, but because I
We-
don't think there's anything like that right now. You have to seek everything out right now, right? Like we don't have to wait for some objective. It's all
Night ogre to
us.
spawn.
Well, right, yeah. You just have to
But yeah, that's
fucking wait. Yeah.
uh,
Anyway, that's my rough impressions on it.
we can probably group a few of these topics. So ideas about player retention, map saturation, and player fragmentation kind of go hand in hand.
Hmm.
I think the introduction to rotating maps and map types, that sort of has helped a lot because I think before when you could pick night, day, or crypts, solo, duo, trio, got 9 variety of map being available all at the same time. I don't think that helps in finding people. It's great if you got 30,000 people playing, but
Yep. And see, a lot of my thoughts, a lot of my not ideas and shit, but just a lot of what I think is attuned for if we could handle, big amounts of players, and so much of it's great ideas from so many people, but it's just it could not work in if it was implemented right now because of our player count. So we
yeah,
we really have to adjust like how we think about our ideas and shit because it's just not the same. It's not the same as WoW. It's not the same as League of Legends. They have so many players to get feedback from, so many players to, play their or not their early access, their
PBE and
PTRs. Yeah, yeah. And we don't have that option. So anyway, I don't
yeah.
know where I was going with that. It just
No, I know what you mean. Heaps of the my past conversations, a lot of the problems and issues we've discussed, it's like the main solution. Most of them players.
yeah, and it's not even like flame. It's just a blatant, it's a fact.
Yep.
Because when you look at all these other places that are succeeding and doing very well, which they started somewhere, yes, but when you look at them now, it's because of the resources they have, the player base and the dev count and just all of it combined is why they can continue to make, updates and stuff like that so quick and big updates too.
I agree. It is a small team. Tried telling that to someone the other day, one of my buddies I play with, but he told me coping hard.
I've been hearing that since season one. I don't want to hear it because it's just it's what are you gonna do? You know, people are gonna keep it on,
So the
and
last. No, you go. You go.
I just never got that, man. Like someone with 1,200 hours and 2,000 hours, like verbatim said the game sucks and just quit playing this dog shit. And I'm like, dude, how how can you fucking have 1,200 hours and claim to hate something? Like that's so ass backwards, you know? Like, and again, I've been hearing that since season one. I've been hearing that about Lich. Like, how can you have that many hours and hate the game? Come
Yeah.
on, you know, like that's not
If
possible.
I think a game's dog shit and I hate it, I don't think I'd get past
I don't play
5 to 10 hour mark.
dude. It's not rocket science, right? Like, and then yeah, just since season one was just like, oh, I don't know why you're playing this. There's no players, and I'm like, the game's fun, man. I don't know. I don't know what you want from me. Like,
Yeah, the game really does have the people who love it so addicted and love it so much. I think it's got a wider audience. I don't know how they do it. I don't think they've marketed hard yet either. There is still
same.
little bugs here and there. I don't think they will en masse release it. That be like a game full of bugs.
Well, then I would honestly understand, you know, oh, I'm never touching this again, even though I would never, you know, reach that conclusion that quick. I could understand why someone would be like, they've been in early access for 2 fucking years. All this, you know, just hang in there, just hang in there, and it's still not, you know, it's still not a completed game. Come on. Like I could see that, and I'm very glad they're not, you know, just releasing it. I'm very glad they've done what they have done.
Take the time. All the big studios with successful games all take their time. What is it, about 10 years for every Grand Theft Auto? And
Yeah, I mean, you can't have that groundbreaking, just amazing game if you don't take time usually. I mean, it just that's how everything goes is you can't have the best shit. You can't be number 1 in just 10 hours. You know, you got to take your time at it, man.
agreed.
And for a
Will
small team, I just want to say, you know, and I'm sure you've said this plenty times on stream. I'm just so impressed over the course of my streaming career, my 7 months, their progress is just insane, dude.
Yeah,
Just the mechanics, the changes, the armor changes, the mob changes, everything has just been, I think, great changes. Everything, even the nerfs to rogue, even the nerfs to all of the things that happened, it was needed at the times. You know, I think we're in a really good spot right now, especially for a small team like they are.
before you just said something I forgot to ask you about earlier. We did say everything kind of feels reasonably balanced. Obviously, Priest is pretty similar, I would say.
Hmm.
But a lot of people are a bit upset with how Rogue feels. And watching some of your Rogue gameplay here, and I know you play Rogue. What do you think? I mean, I'm biased because I've always found Rogues pretty pretty okay as a priest, but I do remember the last season everyone very upset about Rogue players, but now they seem quite unpopular at the moment compared to what they used to
Um,
be. Is that just because
so
Paladin's out and the new flavor of the month and all the melee players are playing Pally, or
it's a little bit of that, but it's also a little bit of the only viable rogue right now is Dagger Rogue, in my opinion. And that's not really changed, you know, since it's probably season zero. I haven't wasn't there in season zero, but Sword Rogue has never been, you know, the shit. It's never been like, oh, why aren't you playing Sword Rogue? You know, everybody's playing Sword Rogue. That's never been the norm. That's never been the meta, as far as I know. Since season one, when I joined, And I liked Sword Rogue. That's what I main. Everybody was like, what are you doing on Sword Rogue? It's terrible." And I'm like, "I don't know. It's fun. I'm enjoying it." And everybody was like, "Don't play it. Like it's just terrible." And I don't know. I've been playing it since. That's like all I've mained, and it's been weak. If you're not on Dagger Rogue, okay? It's been weak. I don't know. It's not like that underwhelming, it's not like useless, but I used to say this all the time. It takes literally the best player in the world to make Sword Rogue look good, which is Raiden, and he
Raiden.
doesn't even
I
play
was
anymore.
as soon as you were
Yeah,
saying no one
you
plays
even
sword, I
know.
was just
Yeah,
thinking Raiden. Raiden.
you go back season 1 to now, you ask, who's a good sword rogue? It's just Raiden. Sure, there's Sentico, there's I think one more. There's a couple others that are good, right?
Does Mike
But
GTL still play sword?
nope, he is a dagger rogue.
Okay.
Um, and he's pretty good at that. I get a lot of people to his stream if they're asking about that because I don't know much about it, and I'm like, fucking Mike's pretty good. I lose to him quite a bit, so I might as well send people his way. Anyway, um, Dagger Rogue just is the only viable thing, and Sword Rogue just has always been weak. You have to have like actually the best player in the world to make it look decent, and it just fucking it's weak. It sucks. It has its perks. There's a parry. That's why I fell in love with it. I uh I just it's weak. I think it's weak, and I think it's been weak for a very long time, except for Dagger Rogue. The only reason it's not is because of the Q. You can stun someone, instantly do 800 damage. It's kind of straightforward.
What do you think sword needs? What do you think would take it up?
Oh, I haven't considered it in a while because I'm used to it, I guess. Man, that's a good question. Because they recently changed what all the gear does as well, which makes it even more. Bro, hold on, hold the phone. On top of it, they nerfed the main weapons that was like the bis for Sword Rogue. So I'm like even more convinced that it's. I mean, it's in a really rough spot. Sword Rogue is like not, I wouldn't say not playable, but it's pretty rough right now. They nerfed the weapons, they nerfed or not nerfed, they changed what all the armor does. So I guess you can like change your outfits up a little bit, but that wasn't the problem. That wasn't an issue. So I don't know, I guess. I don't I wish I had an answer for you, but I hadn't really considered that because they've been shitty for a long time, dude. I don't know what needs to happen. I still enjoy it, and I'm not like hating on the devs, but Sword Rogue is very weak right now, and I don't know what needs to happen basically.
I think they're in a tough position with Rogue just because people people hate rogues. People hate getting
They
killed
do.
by them. Them just coming out of stealth from nowhere and doinking you. I've never seen anyone complain more about a class rogue. So
100%.
it's such a fine balance finding them at the right point of strength that they're on the strong end. Gonna have to blame it all over the Discord
Well,
again. How every lobby's just full of rogue.
yeah, and that's the other side of the sword. I'm a rogue main. I can't say, or I shouldn't say that just all rogues are useless, and I don't because they're not. But Sword Rogue and Scorpion Tail. I think Scorpion Tail is fun, but it's dog shit for PvE and it's very situational for PvP. So I don't know why anyone would use it. It's cool. It's a very cool design, but it's fucking weak. It
Yeah,
doesn't do much for PvE, especially, dude. It takes me
been,
so long to kill things.
been watching your video here. I've never really watched much this. It does look really fun. Like the design's
It's
cool.
so cool, actually,
Yeah,
dude. You're flying around like an anime character and shit, dude.
Yeah,
It's fun.
it does look fun, but I suppose once that aesthetic getting rolled by everyone, that funnel
That's
wear thin
that's the
quickly.
problem is I can't so I can kill I haven't even tried the new ogre, but I can kill ogre in about 10 minutes in a blue kit, dude, with that. In sword rogue
Wow.
it takes me like 3. Like
Yeah,
it's not
okay.
even comparable, dude. It's really bad and I'm not the best rogue player, but holy shit, man. Like it
That's a
takes a
big
very long
difference.
time. Yeah. So I just can't run it cuz that's like my main is I do PvE, I'm not the PvP god.
Yep.
We have Raiden for that.
Yeah. Yeah, he invited back to grand finals and corny postponed it last season. Game just completely fell off.
Yeah, and
But
I'm glad you did.
I'm
Very
hoping
glad you did.
hoping we see him come back for the finals. Got a ticket for the grand finals up for 50 cash. Hoping,
That's sick, dude.
our
Can
last, yeah, you
you
go.
talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, I'll talk about it at the end. We'll do these
Sweet.
last few
Okay.
things and then chat about that quickly before we wrap up. So we will talk about which you happen to catch the Meet the Devs where they gave us a little teaser and
Fuck no, dude. I missed it and I didn't even check it out. I was so excited too, but I was on the road.
I'll give you a little synopsis then from what I can remember. It seems like what they said it's going to be uh, Shadow Priest Warlock play, like dots, glitch and build up.
I'm
They
so
mentioned
excited, dude.
something too about transforming into a cat that can jump quite high. So it seems like you're going to be very classic WoW Shadow Priest or Warlock. Dot, run, roll, wait till they're low health and they stop chasing. Oh shit, I need a heal and re-engage and redot again.
It
And
sounds like it's gonna take some work though,
yeah, finding
like
the
to get
right balance for that because
yeah,
if,
to get
if
good at it.
you can just rat around, stop people up, and run away with them from them as a cat, and
It's
just
gonna
keep
make great
chasing them
videos,
and
dude.
annoying them. Yeah, I could see some pros on there being nearly untouchable. Obviously, we have to see how they play, but what are your sort of? You got any sort of hopes for what you're thinking for the
So
witch?
I saw I think it was season 3, like the spoiler, and that was the last thing I saw on the witch. So I'll use your information and then that frame. I'm very excited. I mained priest in WoW. I healed. It's not an S priest obviously, but I switched to S priest for like fucking years because I was bored of priest. And we were just talking about, you know, WoW spits out the same shit over and well, I was a consumer of the same shit over and over. I loved WoW. So I was just done with priest, the generic priest. And then I switched to the S priest and just the life steal, the aesthetics, the like looks of the void,
Yeah, the shadow
the
form.
the yeah, the corrupted priest look, just oh man. So just the design is so cool. And well, I heard about the witch and they were saying that it's basically gonna, it's really gonna be like a S priest, like a corruptor, like a vile spreader of corruption. I was like, "Oh man, I'm getting so excited for the team play aspect." Look at look at what we have right now. We have a bunch of meatheads and two spellcasters. We have well, a rogue, I guess, but rogue is kind of shitty right now. So, I'm not even going to consider that except for the dagger rogue aspect. It's just there's a bunch of beefcakes in this game. They beat ass and like they do big damage and then like it's super appealing, right? But with this, it's gonna be dot slow play like aesthetics, and we don't have anything like that in this game. There's nothing that wants to slow play. Everything wants to be just do their combo, do as much damage as possible, right? Even on priest, you're wanting to land your Heaven's Fury with the light or whatever right after,
Yep.
which does like 60% damage or 60% of their health. So I'm hoping anyway, this is the exact opposite. As you said, I'm hoping they're doing their little rat shit, they're doing their stuff, and then you real holy crap, it's been 20, I'm fucking dead, I'm dying. Like what's been happening? And it's because it's a long fight that you don't even know you're losing. You're losing through just
Yeah, all these small tick
um
damage. It's not these
yeah,
big
yeah, you're
burst
losing
windows.
through just small
Attrition.
errors instead of just fucking getting your ass kicked. And I'm
Yeah,
kind of excited to see something like that in this game.
I'd say the closest thing we have to that right now is like poison rogue. I have seen
Either
rogues play like that against warriors and stuff. All they do is try to land those poison darts and build up poison affliction and just run them around, stop them
So either that
healing.
or Hunter is my thought, because Hunter also has to kite a lot and it's a long fight usually. So other than those two, like we really don't have anything that like actually wants to do a long fight. They don't want to do a minute fight, 2-minute fights. They want to get it over in 20 seconds. They want it fucking done. I'm excited for Witch for that reason. Because when you introduce it into team play, 2v2s and 3v3s, I feel like it's going to really expand the whole game as far as um well, team play just possibilities.
Yeah,
You're
just
not
like
gonna see just
synergies and
this.
play styles.
Yes, exactly. You're not gonna see the same three strong things because not that Witch will just be strong, but it's gonna be, as I said, unlike anything we've seen before. I think it's gonna be a long fight instead of a hurried up fight.
Yeah, I with you there. I that too. Sounds anything that shakes the meta up a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think that will, or I'm hoping it will, because how I'm seeing it anyway, as I said, we have just a bunch of meatheads, and then we have the rogue, who can still do his shit. But even the priest, the staff priest, is just wanting to get kind of close to you to do their kit. And I want to see someone the opposite of that. I want to see someone apply one thing and have to kite, and have to fucking dodge and not worry about doing spells and stuff immediately to do 80% of their health or something.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you. Excited to see anyway. Cool.
When is that actually?
No clue.
Cool,
I
because
dare say it
I just
probably won't be next season. I'd say maybe the one up. But
okay.
who
I was gonna say
knows?
I just am glad we got here to the launch.
Yep. A little fun question. After the witch, it was up to you. What are we seeing next?
Oh baby, you know what we're seeing next? If it's up to Quasar, if it's up to old Adramtor, we're seeing a monk.
Ooh, you thinking like WoW style monk? What they called the what was their mist wind?
So I'm thinking League of Legends monk
Oh,
in the
Lee
early days.
Sin.
So
You talking Lee
yeah, so
Sin?
like I don't know if you played like in the early days of
Yeah, I've
League, but
played since season one.
season. Okay, cool. So I played since season 2, and in about season 4, I think was when I like really started to look at the character Lee Sin, and the shielding part where he jumps to someone and shields is what I really want to talk about. Is what I would really make the monk class about in this game is uh kind of like a druid. He would be like one with the earth. He would use like his shields and shit to help his allies. Now I don't know what he would have for some damaging. He might have some kind of jump to like the his q,
Even
He might have
the old like a displacer like that,
yeah, that
very
just
nice idea.
a a support monk, not a damage monk, not a tank monk, but I want a support monk because I think priest is just not a priest in this game. I think priest does not really care about healing and stuff that a priest should do in this game. I don't play many threes, but the times I have, I don't play with a priest. They're just not used very often. Even though they're very strong right now, I still don't think it's very um I don't know, priest like. I don't know how else to phrase it. Like
I in threes is actually the only time you do start doing a lot more of that. I do play a lot more supportive in threes, and heals have won us some fight. I know what you mean though. Like in 1v1s, I suppose. Yeah,
yeah, you just
you got your spirit card heal for that as well.
yeah, and I want someone who shields, but not, not like the paladin. I don't want block pips and like a little shield. I want someone that, like I said, like uses the earth or some shit, gives you an earth shield, and makes it a part of the lore as to why they're shielding you and some shit, not just a seal or something like that. That is his kit, is to shield and maybe to heal or something. But that's what I would do, is a monk like support.
Sounds like
I think that'd be
you
sick.
want a shaman secretly like me.
Oof. That'd be kind of cool too.
Um, yeah, well, that's about everything. Last thing is basically just your your personal hopes for what we see next, whether it be in-game events or new maps or more classes, or what would get you most excited for if they did an announcement today saying this is coming next season?
Hmm. What would get me the most excited right now would be new map. I we already talked about it a little bit, but uh the the new map, uh Jesus, the Morthog's Lair, fantastic addition because it splits up the just the normal standard runs, which everybody gets used to at some point. And when I started this game, I was so excited to go to Greenwood Night because I was like, dude, I've been playing Greenwood Day for like 10 runs. Greenwood Night's going to be something different. It was the exact same map. I was super bummed. And I was like, so there's only three maps to play? Or sorry, there's only two maps to play? Or no, yeah,
Yeah, it would
there's
have been.
only two maps to play. And so I was honestly devastated. I was like, man, I don't know if I want to keep, because there's just not much content. This was my ignorant stance, right? Was there's just not much content to do in two fucking maps. Like there's just not much you can do. Even if it's a huge map, there's only two maps. There's not really that much we can do. And this was when I, like, kind of just started, and I was devastated that there was only two maps. So any new map, essentially, it doesn't even have to be a special map like the one we just got. I think any new map would be just a banger, would be a huge plus onto this game. Just more shit, more stuff to do that is not something that we've already done, because Greenwood Day and Greenwood Night is the exact same map. It's completely different mobs, and sometimes they're changed, they're upgraded, stuff like that, but it's the same map. So the aesthetics, you know where you're supposed to go, like that part gets dull. That's what I would want of, like, just give me something, give me, if it showed up tomorrow, hey, we're working on it. Oh, answers answered, or prayers answered.
Yeah, I'm excited for the. Hopefully, it's Karth been in the roadmap, the warrior hometown desert.
Oh, dude, I need to check it out. I haven't even checked out the roadmap in probably 2 months.
Yeah, that's been on the roadmap since season 0. And there's like those new mobs for it as well. There's some sketches, so go check that out, guys. If
Yeah,
see what's
I need
coming.
to educate myself on that.
We've just gone a bit over the 2 hour mark, man. So I'll release you from now. But thank you so much for joining me, man. I really appreciate your time, your insights.
I appreciate you having me
Uh,
very much so.
I'll see you on your next. Oh, wait, before I go, we're going to bring this up, wasn't I?
Yeah, let's talk about your dueling thing, please. I didn't have questions per se, but I want to know as much as I can about it.
Display. So here it is. We're starting tonight. It's like 6.5 hours from now. Week one begins. The first 4 weeks, it's best of one duels. The semifinals and onward will be best of three. It's blue gear cap, one potion, and stam, one energy is allowed. So
Nice.
minimal consumables. The placements, we want them fast, furious. Don't want 15-minute fights.
I'm
The
gonna go
winner,
pee real quick.
yeah,
Sorry.
you're good. The first place of every week will get a $25 cash prize. First and second place will be invited week five grand finals. The grand finals are going to be a $450 prize pool. That's donated from myself and two of the other OC boys. They've donated some money as well. Massive thank you to those guys. Um, Sung has also, I believe, he's going to be giving me some legendary supporter god tier packs, whatever they're called, well. So good way to up your dash size, get cool crates. The finals are also we're going to be doing them in the arena map. May force us to do it over a number of nights. Rotate nature of it. At this point, it's going to be unrestricted gear and consumer. So whatever you bring in belt, whatever. But we will see someone's checked out and varies their opponent a chance that are going to be in this generally pretty cool. But at this point, I have said you can bring any gear that you want. I think I've also been given keys, given way to some spectators during the events.
Noise.
Beyond that, I think that's about it. But it's all just a bit of fun, just trying to bring the community together. You don't have to be an OC. I think bigger than Mike GTL, I believe he's dueling tonight. Did one
Ooh.
last season, Raiden EU on 300 ping, took home first place. So we are a small community. We don't have a bunch of turbo, so pretty good at the game. You're probably still good at the chance. Don't be scared of the ping. Come over, meet some people, and have a good time with the
See you
fellas.
there, motherfuckers.
Yeah, what he said. Yeah, besides that, I think we're all done. Thanks again for your time, man, and I'll see you around soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. This was fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Hopefully, down the line, we can catch up again when we've got some more new things to talk about.
Dude, yeah. Updates on Arcavian, updates on me, on just how we feel would be super cool.
Yeah,
Because
even
as I told you, I watched the Arcavian one, dude. That was, it was cool. I mean,
I wouldn't
that's what I
mind
was here
doing
for.
a bit of a group one too. So maybe I could wrangle you and Arcavian back in a towards the end of this season, and we discuss how the season went and talked about it.
That's a good idea. That was kind of my thought too. Was why not? Why not have all these bridges combined basically? Like you control us, you lead us around and shit, but do what you do, but with a group. But yeah, you already got it,
Yeah.
dude. I'm
Yeah. All
telling
right.
you,
Well,
you're developer in the making.
thank you, man. I appreciate the compliment. It means a lot. Thanks for what you're
Yeah,
doing
you're
for the community as well.
Absolutely. I mean, as I said, it's just the very least I can do. I know it's not much, but it's what I can do, you know?
If you haven't followed Adam here, his Twitch is linked down there in the bottom. Go over and give him a follow. Thank you for giving us his time. Alrighty,
I'll also
guys.
be live streaming streaming Eldegarde basically every day. So hang out, come learn some shit.
We'll see you all later for the Julian tourney. Stream up a little bit before and
About
put the announcement
yeah,
out. And
about 6 hours, right? From now, you said
yeah, 6.5 hours.
6.5. Okay. I hope I'm up. We'll see.
Set your alarm. All good, guys. Thank you again, and we'll see you for the next one.